Hi, this is Osman. I'm a master level energy healer with telepathic capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher. Be sure to visit my website yogawellness786.com for more information on my services as well as contact information. And also remember, all my therapies are natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. If you have a medical condition, be sure to visit a qualified and licensed medical practitioner in your locality. So, I wanted to discuss, some aspects of the current habit of people. Once you become passionate about this field of yoga, meditation, philosophy, yoga philosophy, spirituality, spend a lot of time online and listening to these people talk, their talks, and you go to talk after talk, and some of them can talk for 1 to 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours, long lectures, and you binge on the lectures too much. And of course it's amazing. I mean, the talks to widen your knowledge is amazing, but there should be also action on your part, right? So an ounce, an ounce of practice is worth tons of theory. So try to change the balance. Yes, these things are amazing. Instead of spending 80% of your time binging on knowledge and acquiring it, spend 80% of your time into some type of action that you're doing every day that is dedicated to improving you or getting you closer towards your goals, and all the different types of goals, your fitness goals, your social goals, to building your social life, and your nutritional goals, your peace of mind, your mindfulness day. So try to have a balance of everything, but that balance must be 80% action, 20%, so try to cut down on binging on, spending time online and listening to, people like myself and other people who have, amazing channels and amazing content, as well as amazing guests that speak an hour to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, right? And it's amazing to listen to them, but you need to have some balance. You can't on a daily basis, say, no, I spend all this and it's motivating me, it's keeping me positive, and I'm learning so much, but it's cutting into your practice time. Yes, you're practicing, but spend more time practicing, right? Try to, understand and be cautious about how much of time you spend on gathering knowledge and positivity and motivation, and how much you do practicing, because all the positive emotions and all the positive energy and all the knowledge in the world is not going to get you to your goal. What's going to get you to a goal is your actions, what action you take. So whether you're positive or negative, you don't like what you're doing, but if you're doing it in the right direction, it's going to get you there. Who likes to study? Who likes to work? Go and do an intense workout. When you're pushing and you are failing, which is the best part of your reps, when you come to strength training and you're doing, your push-ups, or you're doing your squats. It is when you're doing, let's say for example, 50 squats, right? It's not the first 48, it's the last two that has got all the benefit, right? Compared to the other 48 that you're doing, right? So it's putting your focus on practice, on practical, getting towards what you want to go, and overcoming the negative feeling that you have, if it's taking you there. So you don't like to study, you don't want to work, you don't want to wake up early in the morning and go for your your jog or your walk in the morning, but you have to make the discipline to do it. You don't want to go early to bed, right? Because you feel, oh, you're still awake and everyone's awake. What's this? My youngest daughter, 11-year-old daughter, she laughs at me that I go to bed like a baby. She says she goes to bed, 10, 11 at night, and but she's having a 9 to 10 hours of sleep. She gets up like around 7:30, right, in the morning, and she leaves home for school around 8 a.m. So she gets ready super quick, she says, you know. She doesn't need to get up at 7, she can get up at 7:30. But she goes to bed around 10, 11. I said, try to make it more at around 10. But she laughs at me because I'm going to bed around 7, 8, right? So I tell her, but I get up very early. I get up around 3 a.m., right? 3, 4 a.m. And sometimes I'm going to bed at 6 p.m., right? And she can't believe, and she rips herself laughing, right? 11 years old, when I do that. But I try to practice what I preach. I get my 7 to 9 hours, you know. And, you know, I have to practice, you know, healthy habits, right? Not just talk about it and, you know, study it and so forth. And also I make sure in the morning I'm doing my, you know, I've got my program, you know, my signals, you know, that I have to focus on, and try to, you know, keep myself focused away from the noise, the signal and noise. According to Steve Jobs, you have to have 3 to 5 things that you have to prioritize on a daily basis, that you have to, you know, non-negotiable, get that, you know. So I have my, you know, my kriya, I have my, you know, my meditation, I have my pranayama, I have my hatha yoga. So hatha yoga, immediately after my hatha yoga, I do a very small meditation to, you know, to prepare myself for the pranayama, and then I do my pranayama. And then I also try to find time to, you know, listen to some of my favorite podcasts. But I don't do it every day. I do it like once or twice a week. And whenever I find empty pockets of time, I try to, you know, go into the podcast. And I don't listen it from one end to the other. I try to get the gist of it. If I see I've got the gist of it, you know, I cut off, you know, and I go on, because sometimes certain things is not really helpful. As much as it's your favorite channel, it's not helpful, because I need to focus on things that I need to be doing, right? What is important. And creating my video content, you know, on a daily basis, this is very important to me. So I spend time, you know, in that as well. So try to ensure that your life is prioritized by action, because it's the action is going to get you everywhere, not the positive mindset and, you know, the knowledge. Yes, you need to gather knowledge. You need to be positive. You need to, you know, focus on, you know, mindfulness and, you know, de-stressing and all that. But action is what's going to get you there. So thank you very much for that. And take care of yourself always. Tap stop.